What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. In this episode, we're jumping back on the FJ Adventure Build series. I know a lot of you guys want me to be working on the Aston Martin, and that is soon to come. But the FJ's got only about 2 weeks of work left to be put into it until it's reached its finale. So I want to focus my work on that and get that thing done. I use that car all the time. I really enjoy driving it, so I want to get it looking cool too. In this episode, we're going to prep the body to get ready for its bed coating, armoring to be put onto it. And we got a lot of dents and a lot of different things to fix. So that's the game plan. Stay tuned. So with this car, a lot of you guys are gonna remember in the concept rendering, we had metal armor paneling going like across here, down here, over here, on the doors and everything like that. The reason that I did that metal paneling is because I was planning on getting a rollover vehicle and I thought it was gonna have a lot more damage and dents and dings, and I was gonna use that armor paneling to hide all the cosmetic damage underneath. But we actually, remember, we got this amazing deal, $5,000 for this truck, and we got it pretty good condition. The door was the thing that was mainly dinged up, that's on the other side, and then once we replaced that door, there's not that many dents and dings. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna pull dents, we're gonna body filler over the dents and basically smoothen out the car so it looks like a stock FJ again before we repaint over it. So bulletproof body armor is out the window. It's just not necessary, very expensive, and would take a lot of time, and I'm not about that anymore. So I want to just, I want to get it all nice and looking smooth. So that's the game plan. Now I've just figured out something else that's really exciting me. It's Oregon right now, we're in late September, and weather is gonna be completely like all over the radar. It wasn't supposed to rain today, that's when I was getting started, and it's already been raining all day. So if I can get this thing in the shop, it's gonna be a huge win for me, because then I can work late into the night and I can work in the rain. We can't be doing body work in the rain or else you'll get rust and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna jump onto the roof of this thing and I'm gonna take off the roof rack. I have measured, and it looks like this thing will have about 4 inches of clearance getting into the garage door if I take the roof rack off. So I'm gonna uninstall the roof rack, which is nice because actually we had to do this anyways. Uninstall the roof rack and try and pull it into the shop. If we can get it in there, that's a big win, and then we can get down to work. Before I get started, I want to take a moment out for our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Guns of Boom. Guns of Boom is a big mobile shooter. It's super nice, it's easy to play. It is like it's like a real PC shooter on your mobile phone. This game is cool for a lot of different reasons. I've been playing it for the last few weeks, and I gotta say, I really do honestly enjoy playing it. The gameplay is quick, it's fast paced, it's like a team deathmatch style, so you don't have any downtime. As you play, it also has kind of a bit of an RPG feel to it as well, because you level up as you win matches, you get more points, you level up. You can upgrade your weapons after you win enough matches, and you upgrade weapons and step through the game like that. So it gives you these different goals to kind of hit. So it's pretty cool. You can upgrade your weapons, you can use different types of weapons, you can use rifles, pistols, sniper rifles, shotguns, all sorts of stuff like that. Grenades, you can probably see by my gameplay, I love playing with grenades. Grenade kills are my favorite part of the game, actually. And you can get double kills with grenades and triple kills with grenades, which is pretty cool. I would say play until you get a double kill with a grenade, and then you'll be hooked. So it's a really fun game. There's a lot of different dynamics to it, and it is a very enjoyable time, and I like playing it and just leveling myself up and stuff like that. It really does have that PC shooter vibe to it, but on a mobile game. So it's a good time, guys. Check it out. Guns of Boom. Link is in the description. Go download it. Have some fun. I'm on there. You can see my username on the screen. All right, thanks again to Guns of Boom for sponsoring this episode. Now let's jump on top of that FJ and see if I can get that rack off. That sounds funny, rack off. All right, well, this turned out great. We managed to get the whole truck in the shop with the damaged side facing outward. So this is awesome. Now I don't have to work outside, and I don't have to worry about the weather and the elements getting to any of the bare metal, which is great. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a paint pen and roll through the whole car and mark off all the spots that I'm gonna do body work repair on. Okay, so for repairs, we're looking at some work up here to remove some rust. This is dented and rusted up. We gotta fix all that. Coming down here, this needs to get pulled, that'll be interesting. That is gonna get cleaned up and filled in. cleaned up, filled in, cleaned up and filled in. And a little bit of stuff over there. Small dent right here, small dent right here, and then 3 small dents on the door panel. So we're gonna just go ahead, since we are spraying this with a highly textured bed liner spray, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna clean this up, do rust removal, and then I'll do body filler. But I'm not gonna go ahead and pull every single little dent out. I'm just gonna body filler over. You're not supposed to go more than like a 1/4 inch thick. I'll try and keep it on there thin, but I might break that rule here and there. A little bit, but it'll be fine. So that's the game plan. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started in this back corner because it just seems like a fun place to work. So I'm gonna pull the tail light off and try and work around in this area and see what I can do. Well, there we go. I turned that dent into 15 smaller dents. So I used a slide hammer here. I'm pretty sure I used the wrong attachment. I tried to get the weld-on studs for this slide hammer and they didn't have them. So I used the thing that you stick inside a hole and had to drill some pretty large holes that I'm not exactly happy with. But I got the dent out and it's the only major dent in here that I needed to pull anyway, so what the hell. So I'm gonna go ahead and do fiberglass on the bottom of this, the fiberglass long strand body filler to fill the holes and kind of fill in the dents, and then we'll do Bondo over that. Plenty of fiber on there, filling up those holes, keep that all watertight and everything, and give it some structure before we put some Bondo on top of that. Over here, we're gonna move on. While that dries, we're gonna move on to over here. I'm gonna prep up this whole area, clean off all the rust, get rid of all the excess paint, and then we'll throw a layer. Oh, you know what? I gotta remove this thing. So let's do that. We'll go ahead and prep that and remove this fender flare. Got that rear fender flare off. I got new fender flares that are gonna come on for here, and we'll see what the result is to these types of things. I don't know how that's gonna react. But anyways, yeah, we got a whole new fender flare set coming on later. And I went ahead and stripped this all down to bare metal, so now it's time to go ahead and lay a nice good coat of Bondo over here so we can sand it back to match the body panel. Okay, you can see the rear quarter panel's got its body filler on it now. There's a little low spot in the middle there that I'm gonna need to come back and cover up some more. Next thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is work on the roof line and this door. There's a tiny little ding right here, here and here that need to be filled in, as well as we need to go down to bare metal right here to get rid of that rust and then paint over it. Then we're gonna work on the roof and the A-pillar. All right, now that I got all the bad paint and rust removed from this side and the other side, it's time to apply a generous coat of body filler. First application of body filler has been finished. We got that rear panel there, up there, A-pillar, front fender, hood, and then on the other side we got the door. This needs some time to dry up before I can sand it. I'll read the instructions. I mean, the back's been drying for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes now, so it's definitely gonna need a little bit more time. One cool thing about this is we are going to be spraying a textured spray over all the parts that I just put body filler on, which means we can use a pretty low grit sandpaper, which will really take off the excess. So when I was learning how to do Bondo and I was starting off, I normally had to do 2 to 3 applications because I wasn't putting it on thick enough. And I would say add extra, put on extra, and then take it off with the sandpaper rather than don't put on enough and then have to put on more afterwards. So that's it. This is going to dry up and then we'll hit it with sandpaper. after the first round of sanding, I'm noticing some low spots, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in that divot right there where it's kind of lowed out right there. And then you can kind of see the low spots in the other stuff. It's where the sandpaper didn't quite get to. They're the different color. Up here we had quite a few low spots. That was a really hard place to apply, so that's why. But luckily on this A-pillar, we came out pretty clean. There's a low spot right there. The hood is good, that fender's good. This door is good, and the other door is good. So I'm gonna apply the body filler, and then the next thing that you're gonna see after I apply the body filler is, since we are paint prepping this car, I need to scuff up the factory paint. So what I'm gonna do is while that Bondo, the body filler, is drying, I'm gonna go over the factory paint with some 240 probably, or maybe 400 grit sandpaper to scuff it up to prep it for the truck bed liner. So I'm gonna go over the whole car and sand all the factory paint. Okay, we got the bodywork sanded down. I had to apply a little bit more Bondo over there, so that's gonna need one more round of sanding, but that's sanded up nicely, and the roof and the A-pillar are sanded up nicely. And then you can see the whole car is sanded so the paint will stick to the paint. There's some fine tuning stuff to do around the edges that I'm gonna do by hand, but it's looking good. Alrighty guys, and with that, the paint prep is basically complete. In the next episode, we're gonna go ahead and mask off all the things we don't wanna paint, and then we're gonna paint up all the things we wanna paint black, and then we're gonna paint the whole rest of the auto body with truck bed liner. That's always been the plan, and I'm really excited to do it. I think it's gonna make it look really cool, and then, it shouldn't scratch, and it'll be a little bit more dent resistant, and I think it'll be easier to clean. I think I'll be able to just pressure wash the whole thing. Not like I clean this thing very often anyways, but it's gonna look cool. I think it's gonna make it look badass. We're also gonna install the fender flares. There's some over fenders for all of these. I had to take off the other ones on the other side as well. I did that off camera, and then we'll install all new fenders as well in the next episode. So it's gonna be a fun episode. I hope you guys tune in for that one as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you like Beast for Build and you wanna help out and support, head over to beastforbuild.com and scroll down to our shop. There are FJ shirts in stock. If they're not in your size in gray, they probably are in the sand color. It's not too bad. It hides dust well. And if you want to find us on other social media, we are on almost every social media platform as B is for Build, so check us out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Peace!